Even though that this is a watered down version of the XM1014, the shells that came with the blaster is actually pretty impressive. Hello, what is up guys? I'm your host Gordon and welcome to another What Am I video. I would call this the new season of the Gordon Sue channel. We got brand new wall over here, brand new lightings, and of course brand new blaster. What I got over here is a pretty much a watered down version of the UDL XM1014, which is basically named as the Lorchen XM1014, which is marketed towards children. So basically what I got over here is actually a children's toy. And of course this video is made possible because of Mac Potato. Mac Potato is a local Malaysia online foam dive blaster seller who sells rare imported foam dive blaster just like this one. If you guys are interested with one of these, all the necessary link will be provided in the description down below. In the box, we got the blaster itself, a fake reflex sight, 6 shells, a sling, 20 darts, and a manual. The blaster comes with one of these proprietary shells, which the bag is even made out of aluminium. It comes with one of these shortened darts, and this is how you put the darts into the shell. And this is how you load in the shells. For today's Saturday shoutout, I will have to thank Phantom Vault for always supporting the channel. Want a Saturday shoutout? Leave a comment down below and I will be picking a couple of you guys for a Saturday shoutout. Okay, first look at the blaster. As you can see, the aesthetic of the blaster is obviously an XM1014. And when I hold the blaster on hand, oh boy, this blaster is light. I mean, this is like toy level light. And in the same time, the color scheme of this blaster looks pretty interesting. It looks like one of those Rebel blaster because we got the white over here, we got the purple, we got some sort of insignia behind over here. And of course, it is in a much more intimidating form, an XM1014 shell to be exact. While since this blaster is being advertised as a toy blaster, so the build quality of this blaster is definitely a toy level. There is some squeaking noise here and there. The entire blaster is of course made out of ABS plastic except for this aluminum dust cover over here. Pretty sweet looking purple. What surprises me the most of this blaster is actually the priming bar over here. As you can see, the priming bar of this blaster is actually made out of some pretty thin transparent plastic. The most surprising part is that even though that this is made out of some pretty thin flexible translucent plastic, after priming brutally for many times, the priming bar actually doesn't break. That's definitely something pretty unexpected. Other than that, as you can see, the scale of the blaster is definitely one of those funny scale again. Like, I mean, take a look at the buttstock over here. It is pretty tiny, as well as the grip. Shouldering the buttstock is actually okay. It is kind of comfortable in a way, but unfortunately, this buttstock is not an adjustable buttstock like the UDL XM1014. But hey, since I was being told that this is a toy, then I will just leave it be. Well, even though that the grip is a little bit on the smaller side, but I would say that it is actually pretty comfortable for children. The trigger pull is pretty smooth, the priming itself is pretty smooth and light, so I don't really expect high FPS out of this. If I actually take a look at the internals of this blaster, it seems like this XM1014 over here shares almost the same internal of one of those basic shell ejecting M416. While if that is the case, you might experience a little bit of jams here and there. But hey, I know it's not fair to judge the book by its cover. We're definitely gonna test it out first. The blaster comes with 6 of this proprietary shotgun shell, which in my opinion, these shells looks pretty sweet. The rear part of this shell is actually made out of CNC aluminum, which kind of makes this feels rather premium. The shell loading experience of this blaster is actually surprisingly smooth. The maximum shell capacity is of course 6 shells in the loading tube and of course 1 in the breech. Basically it's a 6+1. And the shell ejecting seems to work pretty smoothly. Wow, I just noticed that even this shell guiding piece is actually made out of plastic. I definitely wouldn't trust this sling mounting point over here. It's made out of plastic. And one more thing that I just realized that after ejecting the shells actually felt really greasy. It is literally covered in grease. So better prepare some kind of a cloth to wipe the shells. Not sure why, but I'm pretty sure that it is kind of related to the shell ejecting mechanism. As for the Picatinny rail, we only have a roll of Picatinny rail on top of the blaster. And of course, the blaster also comes with one of those fake reflex sights, which I don't really use because there is an actual iron sight on top of the blaster, which is of course a much more reliable aiming mechanism. So yep, I guess this is surprisingly enough a pretty simple blaster. Well, it is a toy, of course it is going to be simple. So yes, without further ado, let us go test the blaster out. Okay, we are back. So the performance of the blaster is as expected. It is actually pretty much identical with the basic shell ejecting M416. This blaster can only shoot from 41 FPS all the way to 48 FPS. And of course, the maximum range of these blasters is around 3 to 3.5 meters only. You can kind of stretch it to 4 meters if you kind of arc the blaster a little bit, but the accuracy in 3 to 3.5 meters is actually pretty good. Operating this blaster, I encounter a little bit of jams in terms of the shell ejecting. After fully loading the blaster and eject all the shells, I found out it is particularly hard to eject the last shell. Sometimes, not all the time though, the last shell or the 6 shells tend to stuck at this shell storing tube over here, which sometimes you might need to prime a couple of times to get the shells up. And other than that, everything seems to work pretty well. It literally behaves exactly like one of those basic M416. So yep, I guess that's all for today. If you guys like this video, feel free to smash the like button. I'll be posting videos every Saturday and maybe once in a while on Wednesday, so do remember to smash the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. So yep, go and check it out, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Adios, guys!